also in senior teams in Spain. Being able to manage also one of the biggest projects, worldwide sports projects with La Liga in India. My last responsibility has been with Deportivo Alavés, which has been one of the La Liga professional clubs for the first division in Spain, and which Elite Academy is one of, I would say, top 5 football academies in Spain. I've been a very active part of the development of players in their transition from the high performance level to the professionalism, being able to train players who have been training permanently with the first team, even players who have made their debut with the first team, and also an active part of the training development or football development of players who have played in different age groups for the Spanish national team and other European countries. So I do think that I have a lot to provide to this project. I think we have a great mix of youngsters and players who have already good experience, who are good reference for the young players, and I'm just looking forward to starting working at their age.
All right. For the last few minutes, you have described your past experience, and you have got enough confidence waiting. But you are starting in a new journey in 2 ways. First, you are entering an international arena for the first time, and that's second time in this part of world of football. There's an additional expectation of pulling Bangladesh to a new height. Please, how do you feel you're taking the new challenge? How do you look forward?
I'm absolutely motivated with the challenge, and absolutely convinced that I'm ready for it. And well, for me, at the international level, it's been already. I spent a lot of years already working at the international level. First in India, I had the chance to work for Barca Academy in the USA too. And at that time, my time in India, it was around 8 years. I think I had the chance also to follow the especially South football.
Yes.
I know the Bangladesh clubs who have been especially playing and competing in the AFC Cup, like Kabahani or Barcelona Kings also in the last seasons. So in that way, I think I'm not new for this. Okay, and that experience of having been working in India for such much time actually gave me some advantages to understand better the football culture and the context that I'm going to face here in Bangladesh.
Thank you.
Bangladesh football national team has long time they have no success, and you are the first. This is your first national team. I think. Do you think this is a big challenge for you?
Yes, I think it's a beautiful challenge. Big challenge and beautiful challenge. My intention is to create a competitive team from the beginning, trying to create a proper high-performance structure where all the necessary areas are involved and sharing in order to get the best from the national players and in order to improve the performance of the national team, as you are saying. And for that, I think we are creating, along with all that structure, where we will try to put together technical area, a performance area, scouting, analysis, medical, to create that global integrated structure in order to get the best of the performance of the national team.
Coach, this December, and among this 12 months, only the important assignment for you for the Asian Cup qualifiers in upcoming June. So this time for the Corona pandemic situation, it will be on centralized venue. The 3 matches will be going on. And do you think that for this format, is it possible for you to go Bangladesh for the main qualifying round? It is your main assignment. What do you think about it?
Well, I think the first we would need to go step by step. The first thing would be to, in March, to get all the players together. Before that, starting from right now, starting to meet the clubs, to know better the football culture of Bangladesh, to know better all the clubs, official, technical staff, to have the chance in this time to know closer or to see how the players train at the clubs, watch matches on the BPL, scout. Once we get that and we get the necessary list, go to March, keep a window, try to get a camp, work closely with them, try to introduce the football identity that we want to develop, and then we will see. We will see in June. What I'm sure is that we will be competitive, that's for sure, and that has to be our goal, to be competitive.
Javier, certain characteristics about how you want to play and how you want to see your team. In Spain, there's certain qualities that your team needs to be played in this system or that system. In Bangladesh, you know that there are some players that are not very technically sound, and at the same time, do you want to follow the pragmatic approach in your system?
Again, my approach is to be competitive and try to create a team that has the initiative. To develop players that are able to understand what the game demands at each moment. That doesn't need to be to have the control. That's not going to be always to have the control of the game by more possession. It can be by more possession. It can be by understanding where the advantage is. If the space is at the back of the defensive line, then we will have to be direct. Or other times we will have to give the initiative to the opponent and have the initiative without having the ball, pressing high, trying to recover the ball on the other side. So I don't think we need to reduce the options to one specific game model, but giving the tools to the players. That's our responsibility, to give the tools to the players to understand what the game demands at each moment.
Coach, after seeing the Federation Cup, which aspect of the Bangladesh football you dislike or like more?
Sorry?
After seeing the Federation Cup, which aspect of the Bangladesh footballers you like or dislike?
I'm very positive with what I've seen from the Bangladesh national players, both at the Federation Cup and the Independence Cup. I had the chance to watch also some matches from the south. We have very competitive players. There is good talent. And players who are getting good training at their clubs, who are playing in a competitive league. So I'm completely sure that we are going to be able to create a competitive environment.
Coach, before joining Bangladesh national team, as a coach, you definitely a good research work about our national team. And in recent past, Mr. James Day, Oscar Bruzon, as well as Mario Lemos, back-to-back three coach work hard, but they didn't get any success for our national team. What you have the special quality you have that you apply for our national team and do success for us?
Well, what I need to be successful first is to start again from zero, again to create that structure, high performance structure, to create a football identity, that's what we want to create, and to be able to communicate and transmit to the players what we're going to achieve and what is our common plan. That's the main thing. The players need to be clear in what we want from them and how we can be successful together. And for that is my responsibility actually, to create that confidence in the player for wherever they jump into the match. They know what they have to do. They are individually responsible. They know what their roles are and functions, and that is what is going to give us the chance to be competitive and get results.
Coach, yesterday you meet the president of BFF, and there is a discussion about the national team and their results. Few matches last year, they cannot achieve a great trophy or success. For the reason of Bangladeshi players played well 85 minutes, 88 minutes or 87 minutes, but they lose their game, their winning trophy at last moment. In your career, you was a coaching experience in academy level. This is first time in national level you going to start. What is the reason you will do priority to your coaching philosophy or development our striking position? What is your priority?
Well, starting from the beginning of the question, the meeting yesterday with the president was very positive and it was fantastic. Yesterday, sorry. It was a fantastic experience and conversation with him. And yes, he shared with me that situation that happened in the last tournaments. I knew because I was able to watch all the tournaments. And I think it's a matter of confidence in the players, that how you create the environment in training for them to face those situations how to create those real situations in training for them to get used to those situations and then being able to face them at the real game or in the competition. So it's a matter of planning, it's a matter of creating the necessary drills, focus on that way. And then to developing players, to me, is something that is crucial. We have a great bunch of young players who are in the 21, 22, 23 years old. That for sure will be one of our main objectives, but of course we need to make them understand that they need to perform at the professionalism and the international stage is the highest performance level. So that's going to be our objective, to develop and to make them perform.
Coach, you have already been a president in national teams committee. Actually, what they want from you, actually what they specific things want from you, number one, and you have certainly watched the footage of national team performance. How do you assess the performance of Bangladesh team?
Well, we talked the day before yesterday about some the options that we can, different achievements that we can do during the season. But again, I think we need to go step by step, facing each FIFA window, facing each whenever the Asian qualifiers come. Let's see at what point we are at that point, and what we have to make sure is that we are competitive in those moments and being able to compete at any stage, even in the Asian qualifiers. If we have the chance to play the SAF or in any FIFA, we need to be competitive. That needs to be the first objective. Obviously, always with the main objective of winning. But if you are not competitive, if you not create first a competitive squad, that's not going to happen. Okay, and sorry, the second.
You have already watched
SAF and Sri Lanka. Right? So I was quite impressed with, especially with how well structured and organized was the team, and how competitive they were. They lack some fortune at the end, as you mentioned before, but I think the performance in this tournament has been quite remarkable.
So far, you have used the word competitive a lot of times, but every coach wants to be competitive. Can you widely describe that your coaching philosophy, what the changes you want to see in the Bangladesh national team under Javier Cabrera? That's the wrapping.
Yeah, again, a little bit what I mentioned before. We need to be a team with initiative, a team that is ready to propose something on the pitch. I think that if we are able to have the control of the ball, by the position of the ball, but obviously at the international stage there will be huge powerhouses there, big national teams. So sometimes we are not going to be able to do that. So how are we able to transmit to the players and to make those players understand that they need to adapt to what the game demands. Again, so that's going to be our first.
Coach, first of all, bienvenido a Bangladesh.
Thank you.
And you must know about the FIFA ranking of Bangladesh. It's 186. What do you want to see in your tenure?
After 12 months.
After 12 months or in your tenure?
After 12 months.
Well, that's I cannot reply an exact number where I want to see it. Definitely, we want to improve the ranking. I think we have the level to improve the ranking. So once we have the chance to start to create what we want, the structure, to create that football identity, to transmit it and communicate it to the players, I'm very sure that we are in a higher rank.
Thank you.
Coach, at this time you must be grateful the tournament like La Liga. But I have a question: why you think that La Liga? I think La Liga is lost its attraction after the Messi and Neymar, Messi and Ronaldo partnership. I think La Liga is the same.
Well, I think the La Liga was the best league in the world for many years. We had the luck of having Messi and Ronaldo for I don't know how many seasons. They took 10 seasons together, and obviously that had to get to an end. So once both of them have finished, then it's time for any other league or Premier League or wherever to have a moment of being the best league in the world. But again, I think that on La Liga there are very good new potential players that are going to be at that level very soon.
All right, sir.